It is 1820. The courthouse steps in Salem, New Jersey are a stage. The sky is heavy, the crowd anxious. Colonel Robert Gibbon Johnson stands at the center holding a ripe forbidden tomato. Calm, he bites into it. The crowd gasps, awaiting disaster. But Johnson stands, smiling, unharmed. A legend is born. For centuries, the tomato was a fruit shrouded in suspicion. In Europe and North America, it was known as the poison apple. Its brilliant color only deepened the sense of danger. Doctors warned to eat a tomato is to court death. The fear was not unfounded, or so it seemed. Noblemen fell ill after feasts that included tomatoes. Stories spread quickly. The fruit, it was whispered, could blacken the blood, twist the gut, and kill without mercy. Even gardeners kept their distance, cultivating tomatoes for beauty, not for eating. The warnings became folklore. Children were scolded for even touching the vines. The tomato's kinship with the nightshade family, home to deadly belladonna and henbane, gave supposed weight to the dread. How could such a plant be safe? Yet beneath this shadow, the world changed. The tomato's true nature waited to be discovered, hidden by layers of myth and misunderstanding. The legend of the deadly tomato was more than superstition. In the past, every unexplained death at the table could be blamed on the new and strange. Europeans knew the nightshade family's poisons. The tomato's leaves, stem and scent reminded them of danger. Rumors grew. The tomato became a symbol of reckless curiosity. A forbidden experiment. Long before fear took root, the tomato thrived in the wild mountains of the Andes. Picture rugged slopes, mist rising, the air alive with birdsong. Here the first tomatoes were small, golden, hardly bigger than a berry. Wild animals, from rodents to birds, feasted on these fruits. They spread seeds far and wide. Early human gatherers, too, tasted the fruit. Some called it tomatal. It was tart, sometimes bitter, always mysterious. Yet it offered nourishment in its modest way. Ancient peoples, hunters, foragers, learned to recognize the plant. They watched animals eat it safely. Slowly, they began to collect the fruit for themselves, learning which types were tastier, which could be trusted. The journey from wild berry to cultivated treasure began here, in the cradle of South American mountains, long before the world would come to fear the tomato. As centuries passed, the wild tomato journeyed north. Mesoamerican peoples, especially the Aztecs, took the tomato into their hands and hearts. They selected the best, the brightest, the most flavorful fruits. The tomato grew larger, more robust, its colors deepening to red and orange. Aztec cooks were artists. They mixed tomatoes with chilies, squash, beans and corn. They made sauces, zictomatl, and stews to please the gods and the people. The tomato became central to their markets and their meals. The fruit was woven into ritual and song. It was traded across empires, a symbol of bounty and life. Spanish explorers, when they arrived, marveled at its taste. They took seeds home, carrying the tomato across an ocean. In the hands of the Mesoamericans, the tomato was no poison. It was a gift from the earth, transformed through patience and imagination. When the tomato arrived in Europe, it was met with awe and, well, a bit of hesitance. The fruit's shape and colour enchanted gardeners. They planted tomatoes in ornate beds, letting vines curl along palace walls. Yet, honestly, few dared to taste them. The fruit's uncanny likeness to deadly nightshade haunted the imagination. Poets wrote of its beauty. Herbalists warned of its danger. Italians called it pomodoro, the golden apple. The French preferred pomme d'amour, the apple of love. Yet neither name erased the worry. Tables set with tomatoes were rare, reserved for the bold or the careless. Most Europeans kept their tomatoes as curiosities, not as food. The fruit's journey from garden to kitchen was slow, hindered by centuries of myth. The tomato waited. Its future hung in the balance, suspended between admiration and terror. Stories of tomato deaths travelled quickly. Wealthy diners perished after feasts. The culprit, all agreed, was the tomato. Yet the real killer was hidden, silent, and far more mundane. In those days, aristocrats dined from pewter plates. When the acidic juice of the tomato touched pewter, it drew out lead. Unknowingly, diners poisoned themselves with every bite. It was not the tomato, but the plate that turned their meals deadly. Doctors had no way to see the unseen. The fruit was blamed, feared, cursed. Yet in humble homes, where wooden plates were common, the tomato was eaten with no ill effect. The truth was buried under a mountain of coincidence and assumption. For centuries, the fruit paid the price for humanity's ignorance, its reputation stained by tragedy and fear. It took time, daring and science to overturn the legend. As the 19th century dawned, brave souls like Robert Gibbon Johnson ate tomatoes in public, risking ridicule or worse. Scientists tested, tasted and lived. Slowly the truth spread. In Italy, cooks simmered tomatoes into rich sauces. In the United States, pioneers grew them by the acre. Recipes multiplied. The tomato became the heart of pizza, the soul of salsa, the crown of salads. Its colour and flavour conquered the world. No longer a poison, the tomato was praised for health and vitality. It became a global staple, feeding billions. Once shunned, now celebrated, its journey was finally complete. The fruit that once inspired terror now brings joy to every table, a symbol of redemption and discovery. The story of the tomato is one of transformation, from wild berry to Aztec treasure, from forbidden fruit to universal delicacy. Its journey is woven with legend, with science, with human emotion. We remember the fear, the trembling crowds, the whispered warnings. But we also remember the courage to question, to taste, to believe. The tomato story is our story, of overcoming ignorance, of seeking truth, of embracing the unknown. Today we savour tomatoes without a second thought. Yet their journey lives on in every bite. They remind us that the world's wonders are often hidden behind walls of fear and myth, waiting to be found, waiting to be celebrated. As we feast, we honour the tomato's long, mysterious voyage, a journey from fear to feast, from legend to legend.